and welcome to another episode of RailVEDA. Today, I will be doing another edition of those locomotive legends. With another locomotive from one of the big four, this time the Great Western Railway, with the King's class. So, let's get started. The Great Western's King's class entered service in 1927 and never stopped justifying their name as these great speed champions reigned without peer on the tracks of the English Company. As Type 460s, these locomotives outpowered and outperformed even the Pacifics, which could not match them even though they were made later. However, they also exceeded the physical capabilities of the footplate crew, who could not fuel them quickly enough for them to develop their full power. The work to enlarge the castle. The castles were 460s that were put into service in 1923 by the engineer George Collett, and they were technically successful and very economic in use. The change from a maximum axle weight of 18.5 tons to 20 tons at the start of the 20s meant that Collett could design new, heavier and therefore more powerful 460s, which could take the names of various English and Welsh castles. They were castles built between 1923 and 1950. The locomotive showed itself to be one of the most powerful in the United Kingdom. Thanks to them, the Cheltenham Flyer was the fastest train in the world, and at the time covered the distance between London and Swindon, 77 miles, in 65 minutes. However, the moment they first entered service in 1923, one already knew that the castles were limited and that they would soon be overwhelmed by the weight of the trains. They would have to be enlarged. They would become the Kings, which are in fact castles but with bigger dimensions. From the moment they entered service, the Kings imposed themselves as the best locomotives that the network had ever had during its long history. Born under a sign of prudence, they lived under that of expansion and non-retention. Without knowing it, without even wanting it, Collett had signed his masterpiece. Incredible but true. The potential of the Hart were greater than the fireman's, who was not physically capable of loading enough coal for the machine to give it all it had. A trial was even tried with 2 firemen continuously shoveling coal into the fire. The result of this trial was a massive 25-carriage train that was pulled at 58 miles per hour between Reading and Bristol. In another trial, a King reached 110 miles per hour. The Kings could easily pull 360 tons up the steep slopes of the Great Western, leaving the castles behind with their limited 315 tons. The Kings reigned until the start of the 60s, when the diesel engines became standard on the British network. Thanks a lot for watching that episode of RailVEDA. Please, if you did enjoy that, please do stay tuned for tomorrow when I will be doing another one of these RailVEDAs, this time with another locomotive legend. And also please do subscribe, because then that will make it easier for you to come across my varied videos, providing that the subscription box doesn't break. So until tomorrow, thanks a lot for watching, and bye!